So there's this one control that pretty much nobody uses, and a lot of people don't even know what it is. And that's this knob right here under the seat on many compact tractors. Hey, welcome back to the channel. I am really glad you're here because today I want to talk about a little known control that compact tractors have. Now, this is a control that I've never used it. I don't think people tend to use it at all. And a lot of people have no idea what it is or how to use it. But it's important to have an awareness because it can affect the performance of your tractor. So let's take a look. Now on most tractors, there is a knob right here under the front of the seat. You've probably stepped over this knob many times, maybe stepped on it, snagged your pant leg on it, but it's there and you may not know what it is. It's got, on mine, open and close. And you may have turned this knob and not really seen any difference whatsoever with your tractor. In fact, not knowing what it is, you might tend to think, oh, I should probably just keep that closed. Well, here's what it does. That knob works in conjunction with your 3-point hitch lift arms. Now, unlike your front end loader and other hydraulics where you have hydraulic pressure in both directions with the extension of the cylinder and the retraction of the cylinder, your 3-point hitch only has hydraulic pressure in one direction, which is the lifting direction. When you drop your 3-point hitch, it's basically just a gravity feed or gravity drop, which is why you can't lift your 3-point hitch without the tractor running and the hydraulic pump running, but you can lower it because when you move this lever, you're just releasing hydraulic pressure and letting it drop. Now what this knob does is it controls the flow when you release that lever, release that 3-point hitch. If you close this knob all the way, you'll be able to lift your hydraulics and lift your 3-point hitch, but you won't be able to set it down because you've closed that valve. Basically, it's like a spigot on the side of your house. When you want water to come out, you open the spigot and let the water out. So this controls the flow of the hydraulics only in the downward pressure. Let me start the tractor and I'll show you. So I'll raise up the 3-point hitch. But now when I go to put it down, nothing. And that's because I've closed that valve. Now I've got this set all the way to down. When I turn that valve, you'll see that 3-point drop. Let me do that again with the tractor off. So I've got the 3-point hitch raised all the way to the top. The tractor's off. I'm going to close this valve, set my 3-point down, and you can see it's not moving. And that can be a problem. You may think your 3-point hitch is not working when essentially you may have closed that valve inadvertently. When I open this valve, you'll see the 3-point hitch drop. Now, why would you even use this valve? There's only one reason that I'm aware of, and that would be depending on the weight of your attachment on the back. If you have a large attachment, really heavy, maybe 1,000 pounds or so, you may want to close that valve and just crack it open so that you can't drop the attachment quickly, so that no matter what you do, it's going to drop at a smooth level. You might have a lighter attachment and you want to have that valve open more so that when you set it down, the weight of that attachment pulls it down. But the fact is, for me, I just leave my valve open all the time and I feather the control with the 3-point lever. I can't think of any time where I've closed that valve up or adjusted the flow rate with that. But again, if you inadvertently close that valve or have it partially closed, you may find that your implements are dropping very, very slowly. So that's the first thing you want to check, is to make sure that valve is open. Now, one thing I do use a lot is this stop, which you can slide into place and lock it. And what that does is that prevents my attachment from dropping lower than I want it to. Especially helpful when using the bush hog, because you can drop the front of this all the way down to the ground and it can dig into the ground. So it kind of floats and you want to keep it up an inch or two off the ground. So I preset it where I want, and then I move this slide into place to lock this so I can't drop it lower than that. Well, that's it. that's what it does as far as I know. Now, if you have another use for this thing that I'm not aware of, please let me know in the comments. One thing I can think of that might be useful is if you're working back here on your 3-point hitch and you want to prevent it from dropping, you want to prevent someone from inadvertently hitting that lever and dropping the 3-point hitch, I guess you could close off that valve as sort of an additional safety step. Although you shouldn't be working back here without blocks or jacks anyway. So I don't know. But in my book, I think tractor manufacturers could really just do away with that. So if you enjoyed this video, and if you're watching from YouTube, you might enjoy watching this video next. If you want to help me out, you can click that like button. And if you've not yet subscribed on YouTube or followed on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, I invite you to join me. Again, thanks for being here. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next time.